Jeff Thomas knows the British capital like the back of his hand. 8 years ago, the London Bobby became a London cabbie. Ideally, that implies a tour guide's knowledge of the city, not just the ability to get passengers from point A to point B.
As we turn the corner into the Mall, you'll notice how wide it is. Well, in the Second World War, this had the ability to land and take off an aircraft, as you can see. This little hotel here, this is the Goring Hotel where the flags are, and this is where Kate Middleton spent her last night as a single lady before marrying Prince William. So it's very close to Buckingham Palace.
Like every other cab driver in London, Jeff knows where all the gentlemen's clubs can be found in the St. James district, although they're not easy to find.
What they've done over the last few years is they've removed all the nameplates of the gentlemen's clubs. And the reason they've removed them is they say if you're a member of this club, you know where it is, you don't need to be told. So therefore they don't want to advertise it.
Hackney cabs charge average prices by international standards. They're cheaper than Paris, but pricier than Berlin or Munich. Trips here can take longer in the British capital due to distances and congestion. The average speed here hovers around just 20 kilometers an hour.
The City of London are thinking about the end of this month them having a blanket 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, and we all joked and said, what? You can do 20 miles an hour in the city? Because normally you can't.
Black cabs face competition from so-called minicabs, which can only be booked by phone, but are cheaper.
Well, the typical London cab driver is very friendly. He knows London very well. They like to talk, so they're very good for a conversation.
I think we are quite proud of them, and a lot of Londoners you'll find, even if their family at the moment aren't cab drivers, going back in history, they have cab drivers in their family.
The first taxi licenses in London were awarded more than 350 years ago. The original horse-drawn varieties were black, and the color remained after the invention of the modern motorized version. Black cabs have become as iconic as red double-decker buses. Time for a tea break at a historic cab shelter. They provide a welcome respite from the hustle and bustle of London streets and from the dreaded traffic wardens.
When these were built back in the 1800s, this is where chaps can get out of the taxi, because the taxis used to be open, where you used to put the luggage, so you were open to the elements, and you could get very cold, and so you get somewhere to come and get out of the cold.
The 19th century was also when a test for budding cabbies was introduced, called simply the knowledge. The move was prompted by visitor complaints during the Great Exhibition, the First World Expo in 1851.
At the end of that exhibition, when dignitaries were to be taken home, a lot of the coachmen didn't know where they were going. And it ended up in Parliament, and this is how the knowledge came to be.
And that knowledge had to grow to keep pace with a sprawling city. Candidates need 2 to 4 years to learn the 25,000 streets and countless shortcuts without the aid of GPS. But that's not all.
You need to know a lot more. So clubs, pubs, libraries, swimming bars, shopping centres,
government buildings,
communications where the buses come and go. Hundreds of thousands of points you actually learn, and it's amazing. Over the time you do the knowledge, you actually do learn them.
Another special feature of the London cab experience is the extremely spacious passenger cabin, complete with quirks.
For instance, this is a swivel seat. When you get someone who's got bad legs, bad back, maybe in their 90s, that can't get in and out of a taxi, this swivels and helps them out and helps them in.
And the standard fitted ramp is not just convenient for wheelchair users.
I've had a washing machine in here, a tumble dryer, because somebody had an offer, they couldn't refuse it, they bought them there and then, they came out, they put their hand up and they were by the side of the road. And we were able to put opening the door, put the washing machine there and the tumble dryer over there and took them home.
London cabbies do some of their best business after dusk, when the streets fill with revelers. Many of the city's rich and famous prefer the famous black taxis to their own luxury limos because it helps them hide in the crowd. Celebrities like Kate Moss, the Sultan of Brunei, and even Prince Philip have reportedly even purchased a cab to get around the city anonymously.
They find them very comfortable and they're ideal for what they want. Just to get in and wander around and without being mobbed by people going, oh look, there's so-and-so. When you are a celebrity or an A-lister or whatever, sometimes it's very difficult because you're constantly pestered and mobbed, yeah? As you must know, some paparazzi are very, very intrusive. People just want to get on with their lives.
Like everyone else in London who decides to take one of its distinctive cabs.